Matthew and Brandon here at Maddie's Auto Repair. Hey, Brandon, what's this?
WD-40.
It's facing the wrong way. People. Oh, is that WD-40? Son of a bitch. Well,
Used a lot of that today.
got a fucking interesting one. So the one I did head gaskets to, and I know she'll be watching one way or another. '02 Dodge Ram. Some idiots in this town should not touch vehicles and then sell them to customers all messed up. This thing had some type of switch wired in to the trailer brake in order to start the vehicle, and for me it was only starting in neutral. Something was completely fucked up. Brandon and I just chased down a major part of it. We still got a little bit to go just to double check everything. But basically, where's the old Tipum? Grab me that. We had the old Tipum, the old fuse block here on the top. None of the Tipum would power up. And some idiot had the cluster fuse, which was just for the dome light and the cluster, switched to battery positive voltage hanging off the brake pedal inside, that was hooked to the trailer brake wiring. Just absolutely fucking nonsense. Ultimately, again, Brandon and I'm teaching Brandon up here. Brandon, what did we find in the back of the Tipum here on the C2 connector down here? On the one pin, we started checking the ignition voltage and the ignition circuit, and basically we have all the fuses that should power up off the, battery voltage through the Tipum should be coming into each one of these legs into the ignition switch. And I initially had Brandon check. It was the pink.
It was
pink and white.
Red and white.
Or I'm sorry, red and white wire. We have an open somewhere. We ended up fixing that wire, running an overlay, and then we had which wire? We had
our solid red wire was completely corroded from the pin.
Yeah, solid red wire, which once Brandon had pulled off the C2 connector, I don't know if anybody can see that, probably not, my hands are really dirty. That was what was remaining of the terminal and the wire still stuck in the connector. No wire attached, a bunch of green attached to it. And some idiot, some Yahoo decides to go in here, and they had an ignition circuit for the blower motor first off bypassed completely, hooked to something else. They had one of the pink ignition wires cut and then spliced into a totally different circuit. And again, all it takes is a little bit of diag. If you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, you should just stop, put down the tools and all the unicorn tools and everything else, because what this turned out to be, and again, after Brandon and I managed to find a terminal that was close in another Dodge harness that I have, without having this thing in neutral, without having the little wires wrapped around a fuse that's like hot wired to another leg to get the powertrain relay to turn on. Oh, she fires right up. So, again, you want it fixed right, reach out to Brandon and I at Maddie's Auto Repair, and we'll get you squared away. At least this is a good learning experience for Brandon, because a lot of water, a lot of whatever, a lot of these underhood fuse blocks, you run into corrosion and everything else on these connectors underneath. And sometimes, if it's a no start, that one red wire that we were chasing down on the ignition circuit definitely goes to a start and run for the relay and everything. Simple wire, simple connector issue, and then they just cobbled it from there and had everything messed up. It's just absolutely ridiculous, the shit we run into in the UP up here.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly. So make it a great Friday. I got another video coming about another Dodge over here with a common problem on the axle shaft. So but good learning experience for Brandon here. He is picking up a ton. And again, If you don't know what you're doing, you should probably put the tools down, because doing stuff like this, cobbling switches into straight power and everything else like that, gonna end up causing more damage than good. So leave it to the professionals. Make it a great Friday.